we go.
We're
That took
somewhere.
longer than normal, didn't it?
And I'm still fooling around with my camera and stuff.
Well, fool around away because until I move everything, it's going to be a minute or two. So
Hello, everybody.
happy
We're fooling around
Monday.
away. Waiting to greet the rest of you. And some of you that are watching me now, I apologize. But we're waiting for you and others.
Do not apologize. Never apologize. There is our group. How was your weekend?
My weekend was very busy. So it was just whipped. In fact, when you just said it, I was like, when was the weekend? Oh, yeah, yesterday. So that was how it was. Oh, my gosh.
I feel the same way. I feel like there's not enough time in a day. And I honestly, the days are running into each other for me.
Yes, they sure.
And I don't like that. It's a strange feeling when you're that busy or you're that, I don't know what it is. I'm just constantly moving and I feel like I'm not getting ahead, and I think a lot of people feel that way. I do. I don't think we're the only ones. There's a ton of people hopping on. So I'm going to go ahead and click at everybody to let them know we are live.
Well, that's definitely been one of the beauties of this job is being able to do that, hopping around and, still feeling like I gave everything my all.
I have to say, and we'll talk about that tonight for sure, is the fact that is the versatility that we have. I mean, and I love that I'm able to do that. I think it's a blessing. Sometimes I feel like it's a curse, not gonna be lie, but I know that I am not somebody destined to be a 9-to-5er. It's just not who I am. And I think some people just know that in their core. And that's why we talk every Monday night. We talk about alternatives and income streams and things that you can do right alongside of your 9-to-5, to just enhance your life and make it better. I'm seeing that number go up and it's making me very happy. We have a ton of people popping in. I'm actually seeing the comments. This is amazing. What a Monday it is going to be. Everything is working right. So just hello to everyone. And I'm going to ask, I see some familiar names, but I also see some names that we haven't seen in the past. So what I'm going to ask is before we get started, if you could just do us a really good, solid favor and drop in the comments right now, let us know who invited you here tonight. What was the name of the stylist or the friend that said, hey, do you like a chance to win free jewelry? Because that's it. You're here.
Listen to me.
You're here, and the price of admission, ladies and gentlemen, is listening to the two of us gab for the next 20 minutes about Park Lane. And you fill out a form that is no obligation whatsoever. No one's going to be on your, on you about it. And if you win, Mary Grace sends you a curated package of jewelry that fits your particular preferences. So I'm seeing a bunch of names hopping in. We have Kay Demmer, Rhonda Meyer, Melissa Ellerick invited people. Welcome to Joanna and Denise and Brenda and Debbie. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of people on, 25 so far. So I think they're finding us, MG. I think they are finding us. So here's the cool thing that I get to do every Monday night. And I say it's cool because I think Mary Grace thinks that I hate it because we do the same 4 questions every week. But quite honestly, I find it refreshing because number one, I learn something every single week. And number 2, I love to talk about things that are positive in my life. And this is something that's been positive in my life for a really long time, as it has been in Mary Grace's life. Okay. So tonight I have the absolute pleasure of interviewing our executive company vice president, Mary Grace Lewandowski. And I'm going to ask her 4 questions that are very common questions to people that are entertaining the fact of maybe being a direct seller like we are. Now, I say that because you might have been invited here because you wanted free jewelry, but you do need to listen to what we have to say. And it might be something that doesn't fit your need right now. However, I bet you there's somebody in your circle that it does fit their need. And what we ask is that you come back and join us next Monday with that person. Bring that
Yep.
person back. So I'm seeing a bunch of names. I'm really happy about that. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And Mary Grace, it is time to get started. So, our first question, I already dropped the word direct sales, did I not, when I was talking? So, we
Yeah.
use that word very commonly in what we do. So, what I'd love to ask you is, why direct sales? What exactly is it? And how does it differ from MLM?
That is a very good question. And I feel like you've asked me this before.
Maybe have. I don't know.
What we do here at Park Lane Jewelry, what I used to do at another company and what Janine used to do at another company is work in the direct sales industry. I'll put in a little plug for this right now because I think it's huge. And Park Lane is a direct selling company that does hire people in based on their experience. So if you have been with another company at any time like we were, then they will reward you with a title and a salary or a profit plan that commensurates with what you have done in the past. So that's how we both ended up here. So direct selling means direct to consumer. Direct selling means that we're basically a home, like a hostess plan business. We like to do gatherings. We actually have a product that we sell. And multi-level marketing is the goal is mostly recruiting and to build those multi levels of people. So you want to like turn every customer into, I'm sorry, yeah, turn every customer into a rep if you can, blah, 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 blah. And they're measuring you on how your stats are going as far as recruiting. So we're really very different companies, but people very often mix us up because we're both home based. We're both
Right.
a business that can be done, outside of our regular job. So what direct sales has been to me is a whole different answer than what direct sales is in general. But I think sometimes just telling what it's been able to do for me is such a plug for the industry because I truly think, I don't know, we'll never know. But I think if someone had said, oh, we're a direct sales company, I might have turned down my first opportunity because maybe I had ideas in my head of what I thought they were. I'm not sure, but we hear
Yeah.
stuff. Oh, is that one of those pyramid schemes? That's one of those ruses or whatever. But what I heard when direct sales was offered to me and I fell into it really just by accident by being at a show was like, I can do this around the job I already have. I can do this around the schedule with my 4 kids that I already have. I can do this around my master's program that I'm working on and a husband and being a daughter of a needy mother. I can do this around all of that to bring in some extra income. So when I started, it was for like $100. I wanted an extra $100 for our family, really, basically.
Oh, did you guys lose Mary Grace? Because I lost Mary Grace. Can you drop in the comments if she turned black on your side? Hang on, let me see.
Am I
Oh, oh,
back?
whew, you scared me there, girl. Yeah. Yes, you did. Okay, you're back.
I'm so you don't even want to know what just happened to me, everybody. You know how it's just in the middle of how it gives you flexibility to do all the things. That was my mom.
Your
And
mom.
she started talking, and I was afraid she was on the actual Zoom. Hi, hon, it's mom.
God bless her.
So
Okay.
still, I have the flexibility and durability to be where I need to be when I need to be there. So it's like running your own business with all of the perks and none of the worries and none of the overhead. It's just a life changer. So
Thank you, everyone. She is back. We appreciate that she's back. And how ironic that she was talking about the flexibility in what we do and the fact that you can go for your master's degree, work full time, have a family, take care of a needy mom, and needy mom calls in the middle
yes.
of our message. So I find that just ironic. But I also love how you explain what we do as direct sellers. We're
Yeah.
party plan. We are party plan. We are bringing in people to host parties, right? And we're meeting their friends. That's the way that it works with us. So I absolutely love that we have that ability and that flexibility in what we do. So thanks for answering that. I really appreciate it. Okay, so now that we know what direct sales is and we know that, we're like the personal shoppers for Park Lane and our clients, what exactly, why does jewelry fit into direct sales?
Yeah, because like if you all of a sudden heard about this model and you thought that's perfect, I want to do direct sales, you have other choices. I mean, Janine and I both used to sell other things, and we like both of us kind of fell into it. You know, it's kind of like we were at a party, we heard about the concept, and we thought, oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
But had we had time to do our homework, I would bet you that we would have chosen jewelry from the beginning, knowing what we know now. And it really basically is just like when the Levine family started the company, 1955. They were smart enough to hire consulting companies. And they thought, no, we're going to hire three. We want to really make the right decision here. And they hired these consulting companies and they said, go out into the world and come back with what you would recommend as your top three product choices, and be prepared to tell us why, defend your answers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all three of them came back with jewelry as number one. And that is not what the Levines, I don't know what they were expecting. They just weren't expecting that. So they pivoted and went to jewelry. And what they learned from what the consultants told them, and what I learn every day, as do you, and coming over from another type of product, is, my goodness, they were so smart to choose it, and so were we. If we'd known better, we would have chosen it from the beginning. But it withstands the test of time. You know, it's not going anywhere. It's been around forever. In fact, it's a $43 billion forecast for fine fashion jewelry, and I don't want to say the date because I'm sure I'm going to get it wrong, but they got me at 43 billion. So it's a very popular product, and going up all the time as far as people wearing it. The audience is huge. There, you can market to men, women. It's one of the number one gifts in the world: candy, flowers, and jewelry.
Yeah.
It's considered consumable. I appreciated that so much coming from candles. It's like, yeah, people don't just get one necklace and say, oh, I'm done. They grow on their collections and stuff, and it changes with the trends and with the outfits and with the season. So it is considered a consumable product. We're wearing our product. So, I mean, just today I got a compliment on my necklace. We get compliments. Not only do we, so do our customers, and so do our hostesses, and so does anyone that we've ever given this jewelry to. So we're getting all these, it's like compliment generators, and then people are starting conversations, and that is leading people back to us. So it's like we're in this really neat way, advertising our product at all times. It's very inexpensive to ship and store. And it's one of the only products that goes up in hard times, hard economic times. And truly, we are softies. Janine and I are softies. And we absolutely love that it does do something for the actual person with whom you interact. You know, jewelry is an emotional connection, makes people feel pretty, more put together. We'll see color get into their cheeks. It's a wonderful gift, and they get compliments on the gifts. So I just can't. I'm just so grateful now that we found jewelry.
And I'm gonna actually ask everyone to comment. What does jewelry do for you? When you put your jewelry on during the day, in the morning, or whenever you put it on, how does it make you feel? Could you drop in the comments and let me know that, and let Mary Grace know that? Because I'll tell you what, when she talked about that last portion of it, about how we are softies and we love, giving something to someone, we're giving the gift of happiness to many people when they purchase Park Lane, because not only does it beautify them as a person and make them feel stronger and more empowered, but others are literally giving them compliments along the way during the day. And the one thing I always noticed when we did strictly home parties, where we do different types now, home, online, in coffee shops, but when I used to style people for a living and truly put a necklace on someone, you really saw a woman stand taller. Her shoulders went back.
Yeah.
And then all the girls, yeah. Yeah. And then all the girls would compliment her on how pretty it looked. And it made her feel happy, and it made me feel happy. And I thought to myself, that's why I do this. That's exactly why I do this. So I'm getting some comments here, Mary Grace. You should see these. They're great. Makes them feel young. It makes them feel special and pretty. It makes them feel beautiful and confident. I like this. Jewelry makes me feel confident and makes me feel prettier. I love that. This is what it's all about. Plus, when have in the world, in the time of the world, when has jewelry not been worn by people? You talk about this a lot, but
it stands the test of time. Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
All right. So now that we know what Park Lane is all about, and we know what jewelry is all about. Tell us honestly, like where does Park Lane themselves fit into this? What the direct sales is about and what jewelry is about. Where does
Yeah.
Park Lane fit into this?
What I want to lead with tonight is something that really I found very attractive. And I know that there's been some direct sales companies like the ones that we were with that, people are getting concerned or whatever and possibly putting feelers out, looking around. I loved that Park Lane has no minimums. Once you get a certain title, or if you've achieved, a certain pay scale in your lifetime with Park Lane, you never lose it. So, you can be gone and come back, and you still would come back as the same title and the same pay as you had in the past. And that was very much of a relief to me, because to anyone who's been with another direct sales company, very often the reason they don't want to into direct sales again is that they found the tension and the stress from minimums that were put on them. And that's huge here at Park Lane. I mean, you do it as little or as much as you want. So there truly is absolutely nothing to lose here at Park Lane. When I was looking at the different companies and I chose Park Lane, I knew that wherever I went, I wanted to be able to say that I was representing the best and the most generous. And once I heard about Park Lane, I knew I couldn't honestly be able to say that anyplace else. And we just have the programs that back us up since 1955. And the reason we can afford to do them is we've been around since 1955, debt free, cash rich. So we have a customer sale that no one can touch. It's buy two for regular, get four for half. It's so wonderful because the customer loves it because she's getting a lot of jewelry for her value. The hostess loves it because one of the number one reasons that people want to introduce us to their friends is because they want a deal for their friends. And then it's great for us because our average order is over $100. So those three programs feed into themselves, where everybody involved in the show, the customer, the hostess, and quite frankly, us, we are all absolutely thrilled to death because the programs result in a win-win for everybody. So there's such incredibly generous programs that I can't wait to share them with you guys in more depth. But also anything else that you would think that would be maybe something to motivate you. I don't know about you, Janine. When I was home with my four kids, no one ever like came in with anything to entice me to feed them.
True. No,
But
they didn't.
here, every corner you turn around, there's the Mercedes program. There's free jewelry, you guys. We can earn up to over $1,000 in free jewelry every single month for the rest of our career. We get paid on what we buy. So if you're a customer, you should be a rep, really, quite frankly. Because what about if you got a check back for 30% every time place an order for yourself? So that's really cool. So free jewelry, trips, did I say the trips? 2 trips a year, a car program, just really basically anything. And mostly I hear a lot that what really changes everybody's life, of course, we love the money, but is the uplifting experience of the organization and just the little bit of
Absolutely.
goal setting it gives you, the little bit of reason to get up in the morning, a little bit of something just for you. And then we're all always lifting each other up. So that's a huge, huge
I think
plus.
that's very big. I think your organization is top notch in that. And
Thank you. That's why you may
I
stay.
also feel well. I think we are because you know why, Mary Grace, your organization is made up of a bunch of leaders who have been in direct sales for hundreds of years. I mean, when you add up all of us, it's insane the amount
Yeah.
of time that we've put into this industry because we believe in it and we
Oh my
know
gosh. Yeah.
that this is the best place to land. Why? Because they pay the most,
Yeah.
because the product makes sense, because they offer such generosity to the host and the customer and everyone down the line. We didn't, if you didn't come from that, you didn't know what was out there
Mhm.
till you found this. And then you found this and you went, oh, why didn't I find this sooner? And
Yeah.
I think that's mind blowing.
1,000%.
So now I want you to just tell all these fine people that are watching, because there's a ton of them on, and I really appreciate all the comments you're leaving. Thank you so much, everyone. Um, why is now a good time to join?
Okay. I'm going to give you the little Mary Grace talk. Okay.
We love it.
I am very big on reading up and going to court, taking courses and stuff, and then sharing it with others about just how to grow, not just as a business owner, but as a person and all that. And one of the success principles out there is that successful people lean in. And what
Yeah.
that means is they realize they're tentative. They realize there's a lot they don't know. But they also realize that they'll learn that as they go along, and that they need to get their foot in there in order to figure out what it is they don't know, or what it is they can learn and all that good stuff. So anytime when you have that little feeling in your stomach or a what if, it's time. Okay, now is the right time. That being said, if you're looking for a great time to join Park Lane Jewelry, it is a really great time, because normally we have people pick out $500 in jewelry, or at least that's the way it's been for as long as I can remember. But right now it's $600. So you get to pick out $600 worth of jewelry for $129. Not only do you get to pick out $600 worth of jewelry, but you get your own personal website, which if you've ever had to go and have one of those designed, it's way more than that. And you get all access to our back office to do all of the Park Lane things, and the access to all of the images and everything that I pay a professional to do every month, so that you literally could start your business tonight through copy and paste. I mean, we just try to make it so incredibly easy for you. And it's a change of a season. We have a new line coming out soon. And it's the start of the summer when people's schedules change and stuff. So it really is a absolutely perfect time for you to start your Park Lane business.
So talk to these gals and guys about how you start for 129, you have your party, and really you haven't paid anything.
Yeah, thank you for putting that part in. Some people are like, well, what do I do now? I go, I'll tell you what, you have a party. You have your own party. And by the way,
Yeah.
even if you're just on the fence about all of these things,
Have the
you
party.
should have a party. Yeah.
Right.
So you have a party, okay? And now you're watching a little bit differently in the event that you decide you're going to be doing it as well. So it's like a training thing. But also, guess what? Even though the person that invited you to this call is going to be the one doing your party, she's not going to get the paycheck. You are. She's not going to get the hostess free jewelry. You are. If you decide to join our team, she's not going to get the paycheck. You are. But if you decide not to, she's going to take that paycheck. So you can call it a decider party and everybody's happy. Yeah.
I love that. I love the idea that you can have the party, buy the kit when the party's over, and by the time your products come in, you're paid, because we get paid weekly. So you get paid back right away. So it's the most wonderful investment of all time, as far as
It's like a rebate.
It is. Well, it is when you think about it, because look at you're walking away. I mean, if you get 10 orders, you're looking at $400 in jewelry, 500 because you get an extra 100. Then you're getting 600 for the 129. You haven't put money out other than the 129 and whatever your host total was, which isn't a lot. And then you're making a paycheck back. So if a 10 order party is normally around $1,000 in sales, which is $300 in commission to a new stylist. It's a no-brainer.
Plus bonus check enclosed.
So lots and lots and lots to talk about, lots to discuss. I hope that some of these answers tonight really helped you and answered some of your questions. I did see some people that wrote the word yes. So definitely contact your stylist who invited you here tonight. I'm also going to go ahead right now while we're talking, and I'm going to drop the questionnaire, the Google questionnaire, right in the comments for you. Okay, if it will allow me. There we go. And I'm going to hit return and drop those there. But also, if you're watching this on the Grace and Grit studio page, I'm not only going to put the comments there, but at the studio group at the top in the featured section, that Google Doc is also there. All you have to do is fill that out in its entirety, answer all of the questions. We want to know what type of jewelry you love, what your name is, who invited you, things like that. And then Mary Grace usually gives you about 24 hours to do that. And she then will pick a winner. And that winner, just for being here, will receive a curated package of Park Lane jewelry just for them from Mary Grace. So thank you so much, Mary Grace. I really appreciate you coming on tonight and helping us out.
It's different every time. I was all over the place on that one, but truly we're understaffed in every area. In every area, we're understaffed. We're the best kept secret. We'd love to have you come join us.
And please make sure to come back on next Monday night and bring a friend. All right, everyone, have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.